I think he did the intro, but if not, we'll add it later on and everything like that. But a lot's going on in politics and all in that space. I'm gonna see what Sasha's got on his mind. I know a lot of people were paying attention to what the president said, and I did not watch him yesterday. So maybe Sasha watched them from Canada and all along those lines. But a lot of things are happening on the political landscape, something like that. Did you bother to watch the president of the United States yesterday, Sasha, or you're tired of his lies and misrepresentations, and you didn't bother to watch his speech yesterday? 'Cause like I said, I was watching other things, so I did not see the speech, but I'm sure he
No,
said
I
silly.
didn't watch his speech, and I heard some analysis of his speech. But I think the market reaction was loud and clear that his speech did not instill the confidence about what he is about to do. Um, it's a tragic situation. I think he cannot leave the Iran and. Well, I mean, he can, but that will be definitely lead to his dismissal as effective politician. He will lose the midterm election and then presidential election, which he is not going to participate anyway because he already had 2 terms. But he can try to change constitution and say, okay, we are in a war. There are no election in a war, although it's not true. There were elections, including U.S. different countries during the war, right? Okay, so this is all really awful. The most important thing is whether he will lead U.S. Army to invasion, boots on the ground, where hundreds, if not thousands, American lives will be sacrificed. For what? Tell me what? Sacrifice for what?
Yeah,
Okay.
people can't give a good reason why they're doing it. But apparently, he's fired somebody else as well. Because as I was out and about, one of my friends told me that apparently he has fired Pam Bondi also. So we knew that he had lost Christy Knowles. Now Pam Bondi is gone, and now apparently Trump has polled advisors about replacing Tulsi Gabbard as intelligence chief. So maybe he's just going to do like a whole cleaning of house of his office and everything like that. So I don't know what your thoughts are around that, but it looks like he is thinking that he might want to clean house. He's already got rid of 2 women, that being Christy Gnomes and Pam Bondi, and now maybe he's going after a third one, and all along those lines. And it also looks like Chief Justice John Roberts and 8 associate justices took the Supreme Court bench on Wednesday for a fundamental debate over American identity. They did not acknowledge the presence of Donald Trump in the courtroom, so he was out there hanging out in the courtroom, and this was not expected. Wednesday marked the first time in modern history that the President of the United States attended an oral argument, but Trump was there as a litigant and a spectator, not in any formal role. And then in a move that was surprising, they're saying Robert showed his hand. So the Chief Justice can be cagey during arguments. In high profile cases, he often sends mixed opinions or mixed signals and keeps his options open. But during the momentous session, Roberts made plain his skepticism for the Trump position that would upend more than a century of constitutional history and tradition. So the Chief Justice cast doubt on the Trump administration's alternative view of the reach of the 14th Amendment birthright citizenship guarantee. So it looks like they are not going to go in Trump's favor and everything like that. And I guess they showed their hand.
Yeah, yeah, obviously. So look, these 3 women that he's firing, they shouldn't have been there in the first place. They are not legitimate candidates, and they're incapable to have these positions what they had. So I don't know who will he will appoint instead of these 3 women. It's unclear, and frankly, it doesn't matter a lot because the upcoming November midterm election will change drastically the way United States is being run. It's going to be crucial defeat of Republicans on all levels, everywhere, and probably Senate just as well. Might as well. So the most important thing is the resolution of this Iran situation. There are already some voices that are saying that, look, Trump and Truman, So why Truman, to save American lives, could use nuclear weapons against Japan, and Trump, to save American lives, cannot use nuclear weapons against Iran? What's the difference? Why is it possible in one situation and not possible to another one? So maybe it is possible in that situation in Japan 45 and the situation in Iran 2026. And I don't have a clear answer. Why not? I mean, okay, this colossal um, hmm, uh, basically, it's a horrible precedent against humanity to do it. But the standards today under Trump are very different from accepted standards, right? There are no standards. Actually, Trump can do anything what he wants. He can kill people in Minnesota for nothing. Do just okay. He can walk away from NATO, then he will say that NATO now it's an enemy of the United States. Let's go and fight NATO countries. Let's just take one by one the Denmark and Norway and all these countries and the UK who didn't help him with Trace of Hormuz. So let's try. I mean, look, there is nothing is impossible. That's why I think that this is one of many possible scenarios. So if to sacrifice lives, it's better to sacrifice, maybe Trump's opinion, lives of a few 100,000 people, Iranians, than say 100 to 200 American lives, American soldiers. I mean,
Yeah,
who
because
knows?
lives
Who
are going
knows?
to be sacrificed, and that's definitely going to be scary and everything like that. Because I know that we're talking about boots on the ground, and he's still talking about boots on the ground and everything like that. He's saying that he might end the war in 2 to 3 weeks, and he's talking about how he's going to obliterate Iran and a number of other things as well. So he's still talking that macho talk that he loves to talk and everything like that. But like I've said before, I've also seen him waving around the sword like like a little kid and everything like that. So I'm still trying to figure out what that was all about, and some of the other things that he does that it seems to be more childish than the presidential and everything like that. So, do you think that this war is going to last only 2 or 3 more weeks, or do you think that the war is going to last much longer than that? Because you definitely have some military experience of your own, and you might have some ideas, much more than I would, of how long this particular endeavor will last.
Okay, so I don't think it will last longer than 2 to 3 weeks because if it will last longer, the situation for Trump and midterm election will be horrible. I mean, it's bad enough already, but then it will be much worse. So, what has to happen in order for a war to finish in 2 3 weeks? Well, as you know, now the China, they already made their voice loud and clear what has to happen for war to be over with. And it's not just China, it's also Pakistan, it's Turkey, it's many countries now. Europeans don't support continuation of this war one way or another. So the Strait of Hormuz, Trump himself says now he is not interested in the Strait of Hormuz. It's Europeans or whoever they are needs that oil. United States doesn't need that oil. They have enough oil on their own. In fact, they want to sell their oil. You know, these Arab countries, Emirates, Saudi Arabia, they are, in a view of Trump, are U.S. competitors. So he would be happy for Iranians to bomb them and destroy their facilities. So the oil will come up to $200 a barrel, and U.S. will be seizing on the oil reserves and selling, and Russia will start selling even more oil or so on. So that's what Trump wants to do. So he wants to keep war going for at least 2 3 weeks if possible, and make Iranians destroy oil facilities in Arab Gulf states.
Yeah. And it looks like he's letting a Russian vehicle come through to Cuba. So there's an article in Politico saying that regime change in Cuba has long been on President Donald Trump's to-do list, but with Iran dominating the agenda, Havana seems to be getting a reprieve, and they look like they might have even got a oil tanker that came in from Russia and everything like that. So maybe with him pummeling in Tehran for the next 3 weeks, that might mean that Cuba is at least off the radar for now and everything like that. So do you think that we're going to eventually try to take out Cuba and make Cuba a democratic country as well? And is it going to have as the same kind of resistance that Tehran is having? Or what is your take on this notion of us possibly getting in there and trying to take over control of Cuba?
Well, look, Trump lost any interest to Russia-Ukrainian war. Why? There is no money in it for it. Okay, before they were like $250 billion of Russian army, Russian rubles, Russian dollars or euros in euro. And in all his combination of a piece, there was the ownership of this $250 billion would be split between Putin and Trump. And that Geschäft diplomacy would extend to some $12 trillion projects around the world, and probably on the moon and on the Mars and on the sun, and just name it. So when this money were arrested, or actually I should say made a collateral for the European loan to Ukraine, so the subject of Trump dreams evaporated. There's no more money, nothing to fight for. So he lost the interest. So what's in Cuba? There's no oil. There's no gold or uranium or anything of substance. So why Trump would be so much interested in Cuba? I really don't understand. Democracy or non-democracy, who cares? Why does he need it? He doesn't need Cuba. Iran, as long as he can use Iranian oil, and because he was saying one day that he will control Iranian oil and split the profit with Ayatollah 50-50. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, there's something to fight for, and if there are will be some American lives lost, 1,000, 5,000, 55,000. It doesn't matter as long as Trump can control the oil and make money.
Yeah, it's all about making the money.
It seems to me that it's not so easy, and maybe Trump is also getting disillusioned about the possibility to make money on Iranian affair. And Cuba is good for nothing. Venezuela has already got something out of it. So I don't know what's his next target. What he wants to do.
Well, apparently he's targeting tariffs as well, because I did see that he has imposed tariffs on pharmaceuticals and he's adjusting duties on steel and other metals. So maybe he's planning to do some other tariff damage as well. So I don't know your thoughts around the tariffs, because it looks like he's still playing tariff games and everything like that. So like I said, he got rid of Pam Bondi. Now he's going after tariffs over some major industries and everything like that. So any thoughts about how these tariffs are going to play? And apparently he also wants the SEC, because I know you've got that show, Modern Investment, to relax quarterly reporting. So he wants them to, saying that Wall Street could be a problem. So apparently he's saying that he wants them to do maybe less reporting, which I think we probably want more reporting, but he wants them to relax their quarterly reporting. So any thoughts on either one of these two ideas, either him trying to influence the investors and what's going on Wall Street, and also this notion of these new tariffs?
Well, ideally, Trump wants to be a Tsar of the United States. And if he is indeed would be a Tsar, there would be no quarterly report, no Security Exchange Commission actions or anything. There would be just Trump, and everything else would act the way Trump rearranged and do it. So basically, the idea of Trump being president of the United States and any kind of democracy is absolutely impossible to envision. So therefore, everything what he's talking about, everything what he's doing, it's against democracy, it's against American people, and it's yet to be seen how much damage he will inflict of the United States and its people.
Yeah, but then this is going to be interesting to see how he does and what, like you said, damage goes on in that space. Because every time you turn around, he's doing something else. I know he's trying to get some of these other countries to help in opening up the Strait of Hormuz because he feels that the Strait of Hormuz isn't getting the support that he wants from some of the European nations and everything like that. But they're probably like, "This is your fight, not our fight," and everything in that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Exactly. That's what he's saying. Go and pick up your oil. And what's happened if they will be hit by Iranian drones, sea drones, and so on. And by the way, and what's happened with insurance, all these countries have to be insured. Who's going to provide insurance? Uh, well, situation is still terrible. That's why oil went up yesterday during his speech. It's staying up, and we'll see what's happened. I think tomorrow is market closed, so we'll see when it reopens on Monday, and
Yeah.
we'll see what's happened in the market.
Is the market open Monday? Because that's Easter Monday. Or is the market open on Tuesday? Because I wasn't sure if they took Easter
Maybe
Monday
maybe
off.
you're right. Maybe you're right. So what's happening tomorrow? Is tomorrow market open?
Tomorrow they might be closed too because that's Good Friday. So I don't know whether they open. Which one of those days did they take off? Because I know they take off one of those days, or maybe they take off both of them. I should look it up. So I'm gonna look it up while I ask you this question and everything. But the ballroom is going on too, and apparently he's still trying to get this ballroom built and everything like that. But what do you think the ballroom's ever going to get built? This new fancy ballroom that he wants changed and everything like that. So do you think that it will be open or not?
Uh, this is quite unclear. We have to find out first of all about the market, so and when it's because
And I'm
that's
checking that
important.
out while we're talking. I'm checking that out, looking it up right
Okay.
now. It says stock market closed. I'm asking whether it's closed on Good Friday and Easter Monday. So let's see what the good old Google says and everything like that. So
Okay.
here it is. Here's the stock market open on Good Friday. While Friday, for April 13th, April 3rd is not a federal holiday. The stock market will close in observance of Good Friday. The says the market will close early at 2 p.m. So it looks like they will be closing early on that day. Both markets will open for business as usual on Monday, April 6th. So they will not be closed on Easter Monday, but they will be closing early on Good Friday. So that is
I
what.
see. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes some sense. So we'll see what he's going to do. Okay.
Yep.
My wife says that both Toronto and New York markets are closed on Good Friday in observation of Good Friday day. So I don't know what's the discrepancy here. Toronto may be
Maybe
closed.
it's wrong. Yeah, because I was just finding out that's what Investopedia said and everything like that. It said traders will not get will get another brief break this week. So it says, well, Friday, April 3rd is not a federal holiday. The stock market will close in observance of Good Friday, but the bond market, so it's the bond market. The bond market will close early at 2 p.m. So one of the markets is closed and the other one is not. So it sounds like the bond market is the one that's closing early. And it also says the bond market will close.
Okay, so it appears to me that all exchanges will be closed, at least Toronto and New York,
Right.
from Friday to Monday inclusive, and will reopen on Tuesday.
Right.
Is that your understanding, Mark?
Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you
Okay,
might get
so
some.
that gives a lot of time. Maybe there will be attacks by US on the ground, and maybe there will be taking some of the islands in the Strait of Hormuz, although I really don't see significance of that. Okay, we'll take 1 or 2 islands. It makes a difference. We don't know. If insurance is not provided for these tankers, they will not be able to pick up their oil and move somewhere. Never mind the danger of doing that, being attacked by Russia, by Iranian. It's a mess. Russia openly helps Iranians with intelligence, with drones, with everything, and Trump is dancing around Putin like a little puppy and allows his ships to fly to move to Cuba uh, and sell their oil at premium. Now Iranians are selling their oil. It's a mess, and I don't see how he will get out.
Yeah, it sounds like a total mess. Gas prices are going up, like Rick had said, and I've actually saw that today when I was out and about. But yeah, the gas prices are going up. Everything seems to be going up, including food and other things like that. So a lot of things are definitely uh, impacting us, and all along those lines. So it will be interesting to see how this inflation starts to hit us and everything like that. So, how are the prices going in Canada? Are y'all having high prices too, and high gas prices, or are y'all doing better than the U.S.
You mean prices for oil?
for gas prices?
Oh gosh, no, they're always higher than in US. So obviously they're now just keeps going higher and higher. And the Canadians, they don't care much. I mean, if the price is going higher, they drive less. And they try to, if you go to supermarket, try to go together with your neighbor to save on gas. And basically, it's not a bad. Canadians, they have to adjust. What else is new?
That's all you can do is just adjust and keep it going the best you can and everything like that. I guess Rick and them are not showing up and everything like that, so we can get ready to wrap up in another few minutes. But
Okay.
any other thoughts that you got going on in your world and everything like that? Otherwise, we'll wrap up. But it does like the House Republicans are talking about DHS funding, and of course, there's efforts to try to make sure that the airplanes are able to be flown because there was still a lot of concerns about ICE agents being working with the airlines and everything like that. So there's a lot of people are concerned about their ability to fly even on this Easter weekend and everything like that. So I don't know. You don't have any more trips planned, do you? Or any sort of exciting trips planned anytime soon?
Well, I'm traveling right now,
Right.
so we'll see how it will be affected. Hopefully not, but I understand that the situation is getting worse and worse, and especially we'll see next. I think next 2 weeks will be crucial around this war, and there could be some worrisome news, very very much so, and very
Yeah.
soon.
I was on somebody's show and they actually said it was one of our other shows here on the network, but they were saying to people to be cautious and careful because they are expecting some very harsh news to be coming out of the world and Iran and everything like that. I think it might have been the show that we were re-airing today because it's Lisa's show, Relationship Soup, that she tapes on Tuesdays but re-airs on our network on Thursday. But I know that one of the last gentlemen that came on, who was a military veteran, was just telling folks to be cautious because things are about to get a little bumpy, is the way he described it. So he's saying that things are about to get a little bumpy because of some of the Trump policies and some of the things that Trump is doing. And that might be an understatement to say that things are going to get bumpy. So yeah, he was a ex-military person from here in the United States. So do you think that folks need to brace for some hard times? Because that's kind of what he was implying.
I think that Iranians just said in the last day or two that they will never stop this war until they will get even with Trump for what they've done in the last few weeks. That could include uh, terroristic attacks, including United States. So therefore, I would recommend stay away from places like markets or shows, sport shows, concerts, just anything. There are a lot of people involved. just get the hell out of there. Don't show up. Keep staying in your place. Watch YouTube, some movies, Netflix, some others, and just keep very low profile. That's all I can say.
Yep, good idea to keep that low profile and everything. Well, Sasha, it was just me and you today, but it was a fun conversation, and we're ready to get out of here on this particular World Politics, and we'll be back at World Edition tomorrow. We've actually got that young lady that'll be talking AI on that show, and we'll have some other conversations about the politics as well, both on the next, and you've also got the Russia-Ukraine show, and hopefully Ivan usually isn't there on Friday, so it'll probably just be you and Jonathan, but who knows? Ivan makes surprises and pop up and everything like that. But I know you send him the links, and every once in a while he shows up on a Friday. But usually Fridays is his day to catch up on other things as well. But definitely, hopefully, we'll see him because he always has some great videos. I appreciate those videos, and I will get you the last group, which is the Modern Investment Group, later on today because you've got all the chess programs and you've got all the Ukraine shows for this month. But I'll get you the investment ones as well later on today.
Okay, Mark. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.
Tell your wife to have a good one too, and have a great holidays and a great Easter as well. But have a good one on this evening.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.